Yehovah, please fill me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name, amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts in mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold. Nail, behold. Genesis chapter 15. Sometime later, the word of Yehovah came to Avram in a vision. Don't be afraid, Avram. I am your protector. Your reward will be very great. Abram replied, Yehovah God, what good will your gifts be to me if I continue childless? And Eliezer from Damascus inherits my possessions. You haven't given me a child, Abram continued. So someone born in my house will be my heir. But the word of Yehovah came to him. This man will not be your heir. No, your heir will be a child from your own body. Then he brought him outside and said, Look up at the sky and count the stars, if you can count them. Your descendants will be that many. He believed in Yehovah, and he credited it to him as righteousness. Then he said to him, I am Yehovah, who brought you out from the Kasdim to give you this land as your possession. He replied, Yehovah, God, how am I to know that I will possess it? He answered him, Bring me a 3-year-old cow, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a dove, and a pigeon. He brought him all these, cut the animals in two, and placed the pieces opposite each other. But he didn't cut the birds in half. Birds of prey swooped down on the carcasses, but Avram drove them away. As the sun was about to set, a deep sleep fell on Avram. Horror and great darkness came over him. Yehovah said to Avram, Know this for certain. Your descendants will be foreigners in a land that is not theirs. They will be slaves and held in oppression there 400 years. But I will also judge that nation, the one that makes them slaves. Afterwards, they will leave with many possessions. As for you, you will join your ancestors in peace and be buried at a good old age. Only in the 4th generation will your descendants come back here, because only then will the emery be ripe for punishment. After the sun had set and there was a thick darkness, a smoking fire pot and a flaming torch appeared, which passed between these animal parts. That day Yehovah made a covenant with Avram. I have given this land to your descendants, from the valley of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates River, the territory of the Canaani, the Kinzi, the Kamani, the Hitti, the Perizi, and the Rephaim, the Emery, the Canaani, and the Gargishi, and the Uvisi. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading Genesis 15? We can learn some greatness of where this covenant comes from to Abraham and his descendants. Know that if Yehovah spoke to Abram in a vision, that it is also possible for him to speak to you in a vision. Trust that Yehovah is our protector, that our reward will be very great. Trust that Yehovah has a specific plan and purpose for your life, just like he had for Avram. Aim to listen for the word of Yehovah in your life. Believe Yehovah as Avram did. This belief will be counted to you as righteousness. Trust that Yehova will bring you out of where you are to a place he has planned for you. Trust in the covenant of Yehova made with a Gentile man named Avram to be the father of the Hebrew people. Trust that Yehova told Avram the future of his people in Egypt and of his death. Know that after the sun set, there was thick darkness, and a flaming torch appeared passed between the animal parts. Trust that at this moment in time is when Yehova gave specific land to Abraham and his descendants. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can teach others that it is by grace that we have been chosen to be in the family of Abraham. Bear one another's burdens. We can believe in Yehova even when we don't see him, and it's an example to others to place their trust in him. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. And with the Aaronic blessing. Yehova will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehova will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehova will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete.